For Pacifica Radio, I'm Scott Baba. Palestinians are returning to breathtaking scenes of total destruction in the Shinjaya neighborhood in Gaza City after Israeli troops finished their latest offensive and withdrew. Neon Kim reports.
Residents returned to see what's left of their home. Block after block, nearly every building has been flattened to rubble after the 2-week Israeli offensive. My house had 4 floors, Sharif Abu Shanab says. I can't enter it. I can't take anything out of it, not even a can of tuna. Civil defense workers say so far they've found the bodies of 60 people in the rubble. More bodies are believed to be trapped, but the organization has little equipment to clear the debris. The Israeli military has carried out several offensives in Shinjaya during the 9-month-old war with Hamas. I'm Neon Kim.
President Joe Biden faced a test yesterday that he had avoided so far this year, a solo news conference with questions from the White House press corps. Sagar Magani reports.
President Biden says he's committed to finishing the job amid growing calls from Democrats to end his re-election bid.
Look, I got more work to do. We got more work to finish.
And the president says he's the best qualified to do it at a highly anticipated news conference aimed at reassuring lawmakers and voters after a dismal debate. The president said it would be different if he was slowing down and couldn't do the job.
But there's no indication of that yet. None.
For an hour, the president held his own under intense questioning, largely trading the debate's stumbles and blank stares for engagement on several issues. But he did make 2 notable gaffes within 2 hours, referring to Vice President Trump and earlier at the NATO summit, Ukrainian President Putin. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Meanwhile, doubts about President Biden's age seem to have only slightly shifted polls in favor of former President Donald Trump. Edwin J. Vieira reports.
Vice President Kamala Harris, who many say should take the top spot on the Democratic ticket, says Biden should stay in the race.
Now, we always knew this election would be tough, and the past few days have been a reminder that running for President of the United States is never easy, nor should it be. But one thing we know about our President, Joe Biden, is that he is a fighter.
Behind the scenes, former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is reportedly lobbying for Biden to step down, but the younger leader she herself made room for, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, says Democrats are staying united and focusing on working for ordinary Americans.
The affirmative agenda that we have for the American people related to lowering housing costs or ending price gouging or growing the middle class, defending democracy and fighting for reproductive freedom.
I'm Edwin J. Vieira for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
Telecommunications giant AT&T reported today that the data of nearly all its customers was downloaded to a third-party platform in a 2022 security breach. The breach hit AT&T's cellular customers of mobile virtual network operators using AT&T's wireless network, as well as its landline customers that interacted with those cellular numbers. A company investigation determined that compromised data includes files containing AT&T records of calls and texts between May and October of 2022. According to an AT&T spokesperson, the data does not contain the content of calls or texts, personal information such as social security numbers, dates of birth, or other personally identifiable information. AT&T has more than 100 million customers in the U.S. and almost 2.5 million business accounts. AT&T said it has launched an investigation and engaged with cybersecurity experts to understand the nature and scope of the criminal activity. The company said that it currently doesn't believe the data is publicly available. Officials say a second person has died in Vermont flooding from Hurricane Beryl's remnants. Donna Warder reports.
Police say a 73-year-old man who ignored bystanders' warnings to turn around died when he drove his vehicle through a flooded street Thursday morning in Lyndonville. His body was recovered hours later. On Wednesday, a 33-year-old man died when his all-terrain vehicle was swept away by floodwaters in Peacham. Waterbury resident Grant Nelson says before he knew it, there was a river in his front yard.
It didn't seem so bad, and then all of a sudden it got really bad really quick. And it was dark out, and I couldn't really see how I could get out if we had to. So I called the fire department, and they sent Waterbury Rescue, and they guided, 3 guys guided myself, my wife, my daughter and our cat out and to safety.
More than 100 people were rescued by swift water teams Wednesday and Thursday. The remnants of Beryl dumped heavy rain on Vermont, washing away much of an apartment building, knocking out bridges, and cutting off towns. I'm Donna Warder.
I'm Scott Baba for Pacifica Radio.